Check up, check up. WBUD presents Channel Colossus, episode 25. Now you know you getting under somebody's skin during a debate when they make that gulp noise, and the next thing out their mouth is, "Well, what you doing for black people?" Man, what I'm doing for not only black people, for all people, trying to explain to y'all how to recognize nonsense and how to watch and listen for news and watch the news, and you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you like this. If one of your resources is the New York Times, the Washington Post, or CNN, man, keep your comments to yourself. Once again, if one of the sources that you quoting is the New York Times, the Washington Post, or CNN, man, you keep your damn comments to yourself, man, because I'm gonna tell you like this. Them three media outlets, all they do is stand in a circle jerk and bust off on each other. Then when one busts off, the other two run with it. Most of these nonsensical stories go back to one of these three media outlets. The New York Times, Washington Post, or CNN. Man, get the hell out of here, man. Check up all you CNN sycophants. Here go the article here. I'm just going to go through the bullet points because I don't even want to read this verbatim. This is ridiculous. CNN facing growing racial discrimination lawsuit. A class action racial discrimination lawsuit filed against CNN last year could grow to include additional plaintiffs. Alleged pay differences for African Americans and fewer advancement opportunity for African American employees. The CNN lawsuit could soon see an amendment filed by plaintiffs that would allow other current and former employees to join the suit. Plaintiffs Celeste Henry and Ernest Colbert Jr. alleged CNN and Turner Broadcasting, Turner Services, and Time Warner Incorporated gave poor performance reviews to African American employees and supervisors at the network, and superiors at the network used racial slurs like, "Who will be worth more, black slaves from the past or new slaves?" Damn Negroes, boy, I tell you. Plaintiffs Henry and Colbert Jr. reportedly told the judge they wished to file an amended complaint after their lawyer had been contacted by nearly 200 additional employees with claims of alleged racial discrimination. A class action suit unrelated to the racial discrimination suit filed by former producer Stanley Wilson in 2014, a 17-year employee, alleges he was fired due to discrimination. Say what? He was fired due to discrimination. And the judge ruled that his lawsuit could proceed. So all you Negroes out there turning on CNN looking like zombies, sucking down that propaganda, regurgitating that nonsense, laying in the CNN fecal matter. Y'all keep on listening to that nonsense. Like I say, the New York Times, the Washington Post, and CNN, circle jerk. And here go another story. I bet you ain't see this on CNN because it ain't fit their MO. It didn't fit their storyline about the Miss USA 2017. Oh, yeah, she black. Headline, Miss USA 2017 criticized for conservative politics. The second black woman in a row just won the Miss USA pageant. But liberals who claim to love diversity are upset that she denounced feminism and said healthcare is a privilege rather than a right. Now here we go. Black Lives Matter leader DeRay McKesson warned his followers not to take their political advice from Kara McCullough. What? The newly crowned Miss USA. Don't take y'all political advice from her. Yeah, I'd rather take my political advice from my house nigga, DeRay McKesson. A number of Twitter users accused McCullough of being uneducated because of her remarks. However, she is a nuclear scientist at the United States Nuclear Regulatory Commission. Let me read that again. A number of Twitter users accused McCullough of being uneducated because of her remarks. However, she is a nuclear scientist at the United States Nuclear Regulatory Commission. So basically, if you don't succumb to groupthink, you're not educated. You dumb Negroes, boy, Boy, I tell you, boy, just cause somebody's skin the same color as yours, they gotta think the same way you think. So them niggas that shoot the club up 2:30 in the morning, any club USA, the nigga that shoot the club up, I think like he think our skin color the same. Man, get out of here with that dumbass logic. This young lady don't think the way somebody else thinks, so she uneducated. Probably got more education than all y'all put together in your BLM movement. Damn clowns. DeRay McKesson. Don't take your political advice from a nuclear scientist. No. Take your advice from a house nigga. DeRay McKesson, old it's raining men looking ass Negro. Let me tell you something about why I say house nigga. He the definition of a house nigga. The nigga got locked up, and you got to put your address down on the when you get booked. And look at where this Negro stay. Now hold up and let me preface this by saying we do give aliases and different addresses when we get knocked off by the police. So maybe that was his angle. Yeah, right. Anyway, House Negro DeRay McKesson. Headlines. Black Lives Matter leader lives in home owned by Soros Open Society Institute board member. Another headline. Cozy BLM leader lives in home owned by Soros Open Society board member. McKesson lives in a home owned by philanthropists James and Robin Wood in Baltimore, Maryland. Now, I got the article up here. You read it yourself. This is the epitome of what my man Booker T. Washington spoke about as far as race hustlers. Now, if I'm wrong, tell me where I'm wrong at, man. I'm sick of this, man. Be careful who you follow. Oh, piping ass. Man. And that leads me to another story here, the Black Lives Matter comic book. Marvel cancels Ta-Nehisi Coates' Black Panthers and the Crew Black Lives Matter themed comic book due to poor sales. The theme of Ta-Nehisi Coates is the Black Panther is joined by Luke Cage, Manifold, Misty Knight, and Storm. The all-black crew joined together to investigate the death of a civil rights activist who dies in police custody. So the comic book heroes get together, the black ones get together and decide that they're going to investigate the death of a civil rights activist in police custody. Now, mind you, the police are supposedly robots during this era. But anyway, it seems to me with the black comics investigating the police brutality or the death of the civil rights activist, they just skipped over Chicago. Or maybe this is in the future, so the Chicago problem has been solved. Maybe, I mean, the multiple deaths in Chicago of the black men, the youth, that's they solved that, or the man.